Welcome to Acute Mania Live.
That was a dope outro to that song. I liked that song a lot.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah.
They just put that out, I think, like last week. That's Third and Delaware.
Sounds
with
fresh.
Mayflower. I don't know why it's called Mayflower. Maybe it's about pilgrims. I don't know. They didn't put the lyrics on
Might
Apple
be.
Music, so I have no idea what he's saying.
No, I liked it a lot. I was vibing it. I think Mikey was too,
Yeah,
right off the rip. That first intro, that riff. Yeah.
Sounds great too. Good like, production, just like super clean. Like
Yeah.
I sent him a message and I said, "Man, Mayflower slaps." I haven't used that phrase in a long time, so I figured I'd just
Because it sounds like a phrase that you would say if it was like 200 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like pilgrimage.
it's like that meme where it's like if Beethoven dropped something new today.
Yeah, Ludwig.
Like, if
Yeah,
Beethoven dropped something new. Like check this shit out. Like
Ludwig was
play this on the boat. You know what I mean?
think that it would
do some
be-
reps,
On the
like
boat.
just get a fucking couple of push-ups in. You know what I'm saying? Like
If it would be wise for them to make some sort of meme out of that, I think that would be I think that'd
Yeah,
be good content for
for sure.
them.
that's the contest for tonight. Somebody make a Ludwig meme. Play it
That's
on the
band,
boat.
right? Ludwig.
Yes, he makes terrific drum sets.
Oh yeah, he does. That's right. Jazz drum sets, if I believe.
Yes, especially. I have Iravera. You guys say it better than I do in your native language.
Yeah, well, in our made-up name language, we pronounce it Iravera.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just I think that it added a little bit to the mystique of the band. You know, it's made up, and we came up with it on our
Pronounced
own.
all
So
sorts of different
just
ways.
pronounce it however you want, as long as you're streaming the music and you enjoy it. Then you can pronounce us. You know, you could say assholes or Iravera.
It
or
almost
whatever
sounds
you
like
want.
aloe vera. You know.
Yeah.
Well, because we are
I like
so
aloe
lit
vera.
that we burn you, and you need aloe
yeah,
vera.
you need aloe vera.
So you call us aloe vera.
dude.
And Phil's with me tonight. You guys remember Phil from? Well, you guys don't, but the viewers remember Phil from last week and Thanksgiving Eve. He's in maintenance.
It's like a regular. He's just a regular member of this show now. He's
Yeah,
making
kind
his
of,
way in there.
Yeah.
No, I
It just-
tuned into that episode a little bit. I was watching it earlier today. And
Wow.
your band is called Maintenance, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Maintenance. I'm gonna have to. I'll add you to my playlists and stuff, and try to get some streams and check you guys out. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah.
They're from Yonkers, New York.
No,
Oh, my parents are at a wedding out in Yonkers. They just called me and
Really?
told me, yeah, they'll be out there.
There's
in
weddings in Yonkers.
Oh yeah.
Yonkers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like $600 plate weddings in
What?
Yonkers.
I used to work at some of the bro. They used to have them in like abandoned like mansions, like that. If you like the whole ground floor they renovated, but the whole upstairs, completely just like shattered glass like everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, but like charging almost $30,000 just to book the venue.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's insanity.
You know what I mean? And the whole place is run down. Like only the ground floor has electricity. It has like running water, and like everything else is just.
Nobody sees that. Nobody sees the downstairs ever. You know, that's
Well, even if they did, they'd have to pay $30,000 to see it.
it's
so.
probably haunted. That's where the haunted people
Yeah, that's
go.
creepy.
The crew. That's where they go to investigate.
Maybe we should do a music video, something like that, where we're
Should,
in
yes.
Yonkers.
In
Do we have a
Yonkers.
$30,000 budget for a music video? Oh, no, never mind. That's bad.
Start a
idea.
GoFundMe. Why not?
Yeah, there's a lot of those going around right now.
Speaking of GoFundMe's, I think there's an elephant in the room right now somewhere, and you guys live in East Palestine, Ohio, or near there, correct? And I
well-
think everybody knows what's happened there.
Yeah, well, I mean, as of like the last week, they do. I don't think it really got as much spotlight on, and I don't know if spotlight's the right word, but just news. But Mikey lives just outside of East Palestine in a town called Columbia, and
Yeah.
we are in East Palestine at my house currently.
How's the
I could
water?
show you through the
Water
camera.
okay?
I'm sorry.
Is water okay? Are you guys feeling okay?
No, the water's not okay.
I didn't think so.
The EPA had come in. So what? Just to give you a quick scoop on what's going on with that is, originally, so I remember it was a Friday night. I believe it was a Friday night. I don't know.
It was a Friday night.
But there was this town is real small, so it's a 5,000 person town. So which I think you can relate with. I did a little bit of FBI checking on you in your town, and you're in a small West Virginia town. It's like what,
I am.
3,800 people.
Yeah, not very many. Not very many.
What's the name of the town again?
Well, I live in now I live in Shinston, but I'm from Clarksburg. Clarksburg has a little bit more than that. But
Oh,
not-
I thought
not
it
much
was
more.
Okay, so Shinston's the one that I was like, I want to do some digging on old Scott
Yeah,
Arnold.
there's not
Figure
much
out what he's
there.
all
I think
about.
there's a couple stoplights.
But so
that
it's
public school education ratings, like this ratio here. Yeah.
exact. Well, it's exactly like this in this town, and I grew up here. It's 3 or 4 generations of my family have lived here. Hopefully, you can't hear that dinging of text that I'm getting.
I did hear
But
that dinging of text. Silence your phone. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know how to silence it on here. I hope that doesn't continue.
We'll blame it on Phil. Don't worry
I'll
about it.
shut my phone.
Yeah, it's me. Sorry, dude.
Phil. It's Phil.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Anyways, so I've grown up here, and we've had 3 generations of family that have lived here. My family is half the town here. We have a big Irish family, and anyways, it just sucks because this train comes through, and without getting into too much detail with it, it caught fire, and we didn't know what was on the train. But I mean, it was a big enough fire to the point where just that in itself probably called for the town to be evacuated, which wasn't at first. And then just within about 48 hours, there was a manifest that was never really reported to the local officials that turned out to be 5. And I might misquote this, I don't know. I don't want people to quote me exactly on the number, but around 500,000 gallons of vinyl chloride was in these train cars, which vinyl chloride is you don't want to breathe that if put to fire and then put in the atmosphere and mixed with precipitation turns into hydrochloric acid.
Acid rain, right?
Yeah, it's acid rain. Now, you've heard a lot of that of going around on social media about it's raining acid rain and stuff, and there's some truth to certain things, and things are definitely over dramatized for sure,
and misinformation
with a lot of stuff. But that's just the way that the internet is, and but it's definitely not healthy. So then we were evacuated from town, and I lived where I work in my day job that I work with my father. It's a sign and graphics and banner company called Sparrow Graphics. So if you guys need signs or banners or anything like that, sparrowgraphics.com is where you go. But we are about a half a block away, or a couple blocks away from there, of the actual ground zero of there. So they evacuated us all within about a mile or 2 miles, which from my perspective is not enough evacuation.
That doesn't seem like very far.
It's not. It's not. But so what ended up happening?
Where did they put everybody?
They didn't. You just would fend for yourself. So you had to go buy your own hotels. Some people are still staying in them. So what ended up happening is they ended up doing a controlled burn of this stuff through these tanks.
Well, yeah, quote unquote controlled burn, right?
Yeah. And not to take away from, like I said, and you can appreciate this, our town is very small, so it's a lot of volunteer firefiremen. There was a lot of outside help that came in, so it was essentially just the local town's volunteer firefiremen, and then obviously other towns came in to help, but they were working directly with the company that ended up derailing their train in our town. So right away, they soaked this train and this certain foam and this water that ended up seeping into the soil. And then within the amount of time that they evacuated us and then told us to come back and that it was safe, they had already built tracks back over where they had contaminated everything. So from that point on, they were telling everyone the water. Our governor, Mike DeWine, had come in on press conference in our town and said, the water's safe. You could drink it. You can come back and live. And as weeks have gone on, we've found it just recently within the last couple of days, the EPA finally came in. Donald Trump actually had come into town and
what's he doing there? He's not the president anymore.
No, and I don't want to get into politics, but
yeah, I don't either. Yeah, that's
he had come into town, and
Biden hasn't even been there yet, right?
No. I'm hearing word that he might come here though.
It'd probably be a couple, like the border. It'll be a couple of years.
Yeah, we'll see with that. But what ended up happening is that started a trend of obviously more spotlight from the media and the news, and now the EPA is here. Excuse me, and we're finding out that the air is loaded up with chemical, and the water is definitely undrinkable. So I've been handing out water. There's a company my brother works for that donated water. We've been handing out water bottles and cases of water. So
I found out I'm eligible for that.
Yeah, no, you are.
Yeah.
And so now that from the 1 mile evacuation zone that they claimed was safe at first, that they were only giving money of inconvenience checks that Norfolk was handing out, which that's a whole nother thing. But now it's being spread because, like, I think that how you guys can understand as well is like, how can something so of such magnitude that's being set off not affect more than a mile radius? Well, it has affected more than a mile radius, and it's affected the neighboring towns. I mean, there's 45,000 dead animals and fish found, and that's what we know of. I mean, there's kids with rashes. People are getting chemical bronchitis.
Who knows what's in the Ohio River?
It's not to over dramatize, because you don't want to over dramatize these type of things and make it seem like that you just for, like, streaming or social media reasons. But this is serious, and there's a lot of people that have evacuated. I have family members that own rentals that now have lost their tenants. Property is devaluing. The water there's a dam across the street from my house where they're trying to keep fresh water from getting into contaminant, and it's overflowing. And
this stuff is not something that's just going to be temporary. I mean, this is going to be about probably decades of rebuilding and cleaning up, and it's almost like a like radiation.
Yeah,
very much so. Very much so. And it's already been said by the CEO of Norfolk to us in town hall meetings, and to my father, who runs a business in town, where they had a meeting, that they'll be around for years. And they're and it's like, so what do you do? What's safe to move from here? Do I move? This is where this is where I'm rooted. This is where my family's at. This is where, now I'm in the position to say, like, well, should I leave? And if I do, how can I afford it? And where do I go? And
it's a scary everything. Situation. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you might have to do this, but dude, like, that's...
Well, what can we do? What can we do for you guys now that we know what you guys are going through? What can we do to spread the word? What do you need? From us. This is the best way. Social media is the best way, and I'll put my show out there too. What can we do for you?
Well, that's awful nice, and I think, and you're not the first person to ask that, but the honest answer is there isn't really anything that you can do. I mean, I've even had people say, I'd love to donate money and throw money at something, and I'm not gonna be the guy to sit here and say, donate your money to this or that, because then when it comes to kind of that stuff, then it's, then what if that is a bad place to put your money or whatever? But there's really nothing much that you can do. This town is fucked. I mean, it's fucked.
Yeah.
So, it's not to get emotional, but it's sad, because I'm like, what do I do? This is my life. This is where
the uncertainty of it. What do you? It's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to anything, but the pandemic, when that first started, nobody knew what to do. Nobody went anywhere because we were told not to go anywhere. And, I remember driving up to the gas station, I think, to get a pack of smokes or something. And the interstate there was nobody. There was no trucks. There was nothing. And it was like doomsday, So it's, I guess it can relate a little bit to that, but now it's just you guys stuck,
Well, and I'm sorry that I'm like just going on and on.
No, you're fine.
But,
you're good.
You're the one that's living here.
But it's like this town. It's like you can
you're home.
Like you can sympathize with it. It's a small town. There's not much commotion going on. There's not a whole lot of there's not even a whole lot for you to do, really, other than go to your local watering holes or hang out with your buddies and and kind of just jam or whatever. Now it's so overrun. Like, there was a week where I couldn't go on my front porch without some sort of media channel coming up on the front porch and wanting to interview me about things. And I would do and say, but you got to be careful with that too, because it just gets tied to politics and this, and then what you're saying and what everything is it's now it becomes like word is God. You know, what you say is what it is there, and
That's the
and not
news,
everyone knows what's going on either. Not everyone's a genius on the subject. So I try to be as neutral as as to say, like, all I know is that it's it's really fucked up here, and we don't know what's going on. We don't have all the answers what we want, and I'm not going to sit here and be like,
That's all
this
we're
is the
waiting for.
fault of the Biden administration. This is the fault of the Trump administration, or that it's just fucked up. And
What about is any word about FEMA coming in?
they're here.
They're here.
FEMA's here, and the EPA is here.
That's,
But FEMA can't really. FEMA is more for helping people to, like for shelter and for food
Right.
and water, which we do need water. But there's been such an outpour and outreach of people that have been bringing in and helping out with that. Not that you can't get enough of, because we don't know how long we'll be out without water that we can't drink.
Well, if you need us to send you some West Virginia water, we will do that, or some Yonkers water. I'm sure it's okay. Is it okay, Phil?
I think anything is better than what we have.
Yeah.
Well, I will make sure and clip out some of this and share it away everywhere. That way, people can kind of, not the entire story, but so they can understand that you're going to need something.
Yeah.
We appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
I think that's really awesome.
It's the human thing to do, really. It's human. What is it? It's not really even karma. It's just
being decent.
We help each other.
And it's really easy for someone to be like, I can't tell you how many times that you think about like the situation in Flint, or the situations that people.
I don't even think they're still good. They're still not that.
They're not good.
Been years.
The military camp.
National Guard.
No.
The Camp Lejeune.
Yeah. Lejeune.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. They had that problem.
It's just like, with this it's just people are I think there's you find when you're in this position, when you are actually put in it, it's just harder for people to not understand when they're not here. And now that I'm in this position, it's like, it just takes for you to have to be in it is all. And it sucks that it has to happen this way, but I think I'm going to have a little more compassion when it comes to people that are going through things like this, because everyone is really easy to forget when you're at home and you're thousands of miles away from a situation. It's really easy to be like, well, not my problem, and not to say it like that I think that way, but it kind of feels that way. And now that I know what this is like, I think I'll have more compassion on that. I'll be more helpful.
Well, you'll be good. You'll be good. Your band's awesome. I know that. And
let's talk about that.
I don't know you guys at all. I just played your stuff on the Wednesday show, and I can't remember when I even downloaded it, but I was looking for something to play for the outro, and I was like, I'll play this, and then I was like, I gotta get a hold of these guys. I gotta know more. I didn't know you guys were so close either. Like, but you start.
We're only like 2.5 hours away from.
Yeah, you look at Instagram and you see your mutuals and stuff, and you're like, okay, that's probably how however that algorithm works. But it's when you got a hold of me and you're like, well, what about tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, tomorrow would be good, because then you told me where you were and everything. I was like,
I'm sorry that this
it needs to be, people need to know what you guys are going through, and that's not it's not the premise of my show, no, but it's important, and that's a part of my show too. Anything that's important that people are I guess not struggling, but I guess struggling, because in a way you are struggling, because you're struggling.
Very much so.
It's mental too, because you don't know what
it makes you mental.
You need to do something. Somebody's telling you something else, and then somebody's asking you what you're doing.
And it makes people that are, your home lives, when you're with someone and you're stuck in the house and you start arguing. You argue. You go nuts. You start arguing over things that that you shouldn't be arguing over, but it just makes people nuts too.
Just don't get a vaccine. If they offer you a vaccine, do not get it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, but I think we have similar feelings on that. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to highlight that part, of the show, I wanted to make sure that
Well,
that
thank
was
you.
okay with you guys, and that you were okay to talk about it, because I think it's important, that people outside know what's up. And
I think so too.
that the river flows south, I believe. The Ohio River is nowhere near here, but it's still, I'm sure it's connected here somehow. So
You'd be
it's
surprised
still
how many links there are to the Ohio River.
streams and all that. So enough of that shit.
Let's be happy. Let's talk about happy things. Let's talk about music, man. Let's
Great,
jam out.
happy things. I don't know anything. No, I'm kidding.
Phil, you've been quiet over there. What's going on?
I just listening, just taking it all in. Just taking it all in.
Phil's a listener.
And,
Well, we had
Scott asked me to join the show maybe like
like 10 minutes.
5
before.
o'clock. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, you want to co-host tonight? I was like,
Well, I sent you the corn.
I was like, I might be going out. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay in. So I'm down.
I told him
I'm
friends
just gonna hop on.
weren't. I told him friends weren't that important, because he was going to go out to eat with a friend. I was like, friends aren't that important.
not
Neither is
more
eating.
important than meeting each other. Hey,
No.
cheers, Phil. I seen you had a drink, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Oh, he's
Bring
got
us
a Bush
drinking.
Light. Bush
Mike is a
Light.
water drinker.
Hey, it's safe water though, right?
It's bottled. Yeah, we don't know how safe it is after that, but it's more safe than whatever's going through.
Well, seriously, let us know if you need cases and cases of water, because there are there are organizations there's everywhere that can put that kind of effort together, and we'll do that for you if
Thanks, man.
if that's something that we can help you with.
Thank you.
Anyway, I wanted to go ahead and play one of your songs, because I like to do that at the beginning so people kind of know what you guys are about, what your sound is, which is awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And I kind of for the end, when we were waiting for the show to start, I was kind of shuffling back and forth between the two songs. I was like, but I want to do "Leave You Lonely" first, because that's the first one I heard
Oh,
when
okay.
when I discovered you, I guess.
Okay.
What is this about? Being about telling somebody to go away, and you want them to be? Is it about like a relationship, or what is this?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
No,
okay. Well, essentially it's just like if when you love someone and you want to give them everything that you have, and you want to, it's almost like the I guess I'm at a loss for words. Just essentially, you give someone everything that you have and you love them, but no matter what you're doing for them, they don't have that same feeling for you. So essentially, you're going to leave them lonely no matter what you do. Even if I gave you, you'll hear in the song, it's a line in the chorus is, even if I gave you all of me, I'd still leave you lonely. It's a darker side of thought process from before, and but I think it resonates with a lot of people. We actually released it on Valentine's Day for that reason. Just because,
That's awesome.
but yeah, essentially that's what the song about. The song is about just giving everything that you have into a relationship, and no matter what, it didn't work out, and that doesn't mean that either parties are bad. It's just that's sometimes the way that it works out in life, man.
That's all. All right, here we go. "Leave You
I love
Lonely"
love
by
songs.
Iravera. Right? Is that good?
Iravera.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he says it way better than I do. Check it out. Badass.
I'm feeling when I'm laying with my eyes closed spinning, and I never even ask of you to prove the things you're doing. I know you're only keeping score cause I'm losing. I'll be fine, that's what I'm telling myself. Wait, never mind, cause maybe I could use a little help with that. For mine to find the time to wake up, and the other side is telling me to give it up. Cause I wear it on my sleeve. So there's a million other ways that you could spin it, and I think I finally see. Even if I gave you all of me, I'd still leave you and I never thought I'd feel this way. Now I get it, guess I can't complain. And I never even ask of you the things you do, because it's safe to assume
That's so catchy that because it's throughout the whole thing. You know, it's just
that was really good.
that's gonna
Thank
be in
you.
my
I
head
appreciate
for
it. I
hours.
was trying not to. I don't know if you guys, if you had us muted or not. I was like, because we have this playback coming through the speakers, so we didn't get
Oh.
headphones working.
I don't think it. I didn't hear anything.
I had us
Yeah.
muted, so
Awesome.
yeah.
What'd you
Thank
think,
you. I
Phil?
appreciate that, man. That's
Yeah, it
I,
sounded amazing. Where'd you guys? How do you guys usually go about like recording your stuff? Just curious.
so that's what I was gonna say. So our guitar player Shane is kind of like one of those savant types, in a way where he's like, do it yourself kind of situation. So what we do is we track at his house, and I'm just now getting my own little setup going to write. But
Nice.
he'll track
Everything, like even like. So you guys will like track drums, and then you'll.
Mhm.
Nice.
So then we send it out for mixing and mastering, to actually who did these songs and who did this album. His name is Kai Bass, and he's in a band called Whole Heart.
Nice.
He's out of Michigan. But we were trying to work with, originally what we did was, so we wrote a lot of these songs. So Shane wrote these songs, Leave You being I believe it was the first song he wrote. He writes all the stuff, and then we'll come in, Mikey and I will come in and we'll do a little bit of like cadence swapping and just kind of testing stuff out and see what works best, and if we like a lyric this way or that way or whatever. But Shane's the brilliance behind a lot of these songs, or all of these songs. And but so then what we did was we tracked this, but then we originally went up to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a band called Dropout Kings or not.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So the guitar player Stage, we ended up kind of becoming friends with a little bit. We drove up to Michigan and sat with him and just kind of like fine-tuned some songs, and we originally planned on tracking them with him. It didn't work out, but it worked out to be a really good songwriting session of a couple weekends that we ended up spending up there
Nice.
in Detroit. So we ran through a lot of these songs with him, and then kind of like fine-tuned some stuff, and then we came back, and then we ended up writing a couple different ones, and then we just decided like the best route to go for us in our financial state, especially now, is to just track at home and send out for mixing and mastering and test things, you know. And I think that's the best way to do it for someone that's independent. And this is what we came up with. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
dope.
I always had the chat room going in YouTube, and somebody says, "Yo, what's up? It's John from Counting Gravestones."
Yeah,
Oh,
those
what's
are
up?
those are our boys in Lisbon. They're a Lisbon or Salem or Lisbon band. They've played. So we run a festival every year in Salem, Ohio, which is where our guitar player and bass player were living for a while. And and they play that every year. And they're gonna play a show with us in Youngstown, Ohio.
I just did a feature with them.
Oh yeah, and Mikey just did a feature with them. I should have just led with
Yes.
that. I'm sorry, man.
Yes, it's called The Masochist.
Oh,
What's
nice.
their band called?
Counting Gravestones.
Counting Gravestones.
Nice.
How many
Yeah,
are there?
they're an awesome
Yeah,
group.
give them guys a listen. They're young guys. I think they're all really young, actually, like 21 or something.
Get them on the show, then we'll know everything about them.
Yes,
Yeah.
you should definitely
Get them on the show. Yeah.
All right, John, hit me up, John.
And so they'll do a show with us in Youngstown. So the Youngstown listeners will be playing at the West Side Bowl as our first show of our tour that we're doing to support this album. And yeah, it'll be at the West Side Bowl, and they'll be there.
Yeah.
So
That's where I'm going on the 18th. I've never
Oh,
been to Youngstown. I've never been to the West Side Bowl, but
Yeah.
on the 18th of what?
April.
Oh,
Dude, come to our show.
it's like 4 days after that.
It's the 22nd.
I don't know if I can stay. I can come. I mean, it's not that far. I can come back up. You know,
Oh well, that's true.
I'm a traveling machine. I travel all the time. I just haven't been up to.
Where are you
maintenance.
staying, Scott? Where are you staying in Youngstown? Because I used to stay at the. I think I used to stay at the.
DoubleTree.
It was oh, okay. Oh, whoa, easy.
Well, you're fancy,
Damn.
huh?
No.
Damn.
I
I was like, bro, I was like, yo, you could stay at. I think I used to stay at a Hampton.
Now I'm gonna have my fans at the hotel waiting for me.
the
with a-
DoubleTree. Never mind. Never mind.
No,
I think you've highly underestimated the amount of money this man makes with this podcast.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
staying
yeah.
at the DoubleTree, baby.
no. I'm a Hilton Rewards member.
That's dude. The DoubleTree is the way to go. You
Well, I
make
mean,
sure-
the West
sure
Side
you
Bowl is
capitalize
the
on your
west side
free
of
cookie.
town. Yeah, well, yeah, that's I always ask for like 4. West Side Bowl is on the west side of town, and I'm coming from the east, so it just makes more sense. Instead of going up to the casino, which I'd love to do, I'm gonna go to the DoubleTree and stay in town, then be on my way out of town. That's
Yeah. No,
Because I could drive back to like Cranberry Township and stay there, but I don't want to drive that far. I'm gonna be
that's too far of
partying
a
it up at
drive.
West
for you
Side Bowl. I
commute.
mean, I'm gonna bowl and thrash. You know what I mean?
Hey, well, if you come up, man,
Just
I'll make
fucking
sure I'll
rolling.
get you. I got your ticket in, and I'll buy you a beer. If
Well,
you come up.
I gotta get it on Eventbrite, so they know Keep Me Alive is gonna be there.
Okay.
No, I don't know. That doesn't. No, I don't even think I signed up that way.
Well, just come out. If all I'm saying is if you come out, then I got.
I will be. I will
I got
definitely be
your
there. Well, the reason that I definitely will be there is because, and Phil's heard this a few times. The undertaking. I have to say it like that because they have an exclamation point at the end of their name, and they're from San Diego. Wales vagina.
Santiago.
They're from there. So I've had them on the show, and when's the next time they're going to be through here? It's probably going to be a while, but they're doing an east kind of East Coast tour with Empty and help me out here, Phil. Meadows. Empty and Meadows is going to be. Empty is headlining, and Meadows and The Undertaking is going to be playing also.
Can
I
you
actually
pronounce our name the same
That's
way
in
you pronounce
Youngstown?
them?
What? Iravera!
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Youngstown. So yes, Phil. Yeah,
Nice.
See how I do it with the middle finger? The Undertaking! Right there.
I love it. We
Get
gotta
it
get
in.
you some merch. We gotta send Scott some merch. Don't want to
Shh.
forget.
I'm a sticker person, if you can't tell.
I make stickers for a living,
Yeah,
so
he
I'll send
does.
you a bunch.
Yeah, there you
Huh.
go, dude. You're about to get it fresh off the press.
I just got
Yeah.
magnets in the mail today, Phil.
Oh,
Magnets.
dude,
These are
nice.
magnets. You stick them on magnetic things.
I make
Christmas
magnets
cards.
too.
Actually, that was the sticker. This
I
is the
throw
magnet.
them shits on my fridge.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Just hang a little Christmas card up.
Do that with it.
Your guys are all on the list now.
These are a
Phil,
lot.
do you want me to send over some stickers for your band? I got you. I'll just send them over. I'll
Yeah,
send you
that'd
like,
be cool. Like we usually like to keep like work with people, especially that if we know that they have a business that they're doing it. Like I think it's definitely something.
we'll send them over for free. Compliments of Sparrow Graphics to you.
Is it Sparrow, like the bird?
Yeah, that's my dad's nickname. So he came up with this name for his business called Sparrow.
I was gonna put it in the chat.
SPAROGRAFIX.
Sparrow, this is sparrowgraphics.com.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in the chat. That
Yeah,
way,
dude.
people will know what to do.
I'm just
That's so
plugging
cool. Yeah,
Central
dude,
over here,
definitely.
baby. Just plug after plug
Plug it.
after plug,
plug the
baby.
shit out of it. And
plug,
they
dude.
need water.
You're the
Send them
plug.
water. Whoops.
I don't know how to speak I don't know how to do anything live or on like any social media without just
It's fun.
savagely plugging everything that I'm doing. It's just
I don't do it enough.
Hustlers, bro. That's a
Everything
fucking
we
hustler,
do.
dude. Hell yeah, bro.
It's a lot of work too. I
Phil,
don't.
how do we connect so we get some shows together?
Yes. I mean,
You should come to West Side Bowl for sure. You should
in
come.
Youngstown, right?
Do you
Dude, I
want
have
on the
family.
show, Phil?
I feel like I have family. I could text my cousin exactly, but he doesn't live in Youngstown. But
We are also playing in Pittsburgh.
We're gonna be playing in Pittsburgh too.
I
Where
go
are
to
you
Pittsburgh
from,
like every
Phil?
weekend.
I'm from New York.
Well, listen, if you guys want on, the only open slot
do.
that we have left is either we have open slots for Akron and we have open slots for Youngstown. If you want on the Youngstown show, we'll throw you on that. Or we'll throw you on the
They
Akron
want
show.
on there. Yes, put them on
In
there.
April?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
April what? April what is it? What is it?
22nd,
21st,
I
you said,
believe.
right?
22nd.
You
Yeah.
couldn't get the 20th? 420?
Well, that's a
No.
Thursday, bro.
So? No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
So on a Saturday.
They're all Saturday shows.
Yes.
All right. Yeah,
I
definitely.
will be there then. If well, I mean,
Dude, that'll be.
I don't even care if maintenance comes or not. I'm coming up.
I might, yeah,
Sweet.
dude. I might just tell them like we're gonna do it, and then if they don't do it, then I'll
Just
maybe-
bring Arthur with you.
I'll
You'll be
go- yeah,
fine.
exactly, dude. I'll go see my family, bro. They don't live that far from there. It'll be a win-win.
Well, tell your band if they
Hit the
come out,
DoubleTree
if you
with
guys
me.
come out, I'll make sure that you guys get paid well if you come out because I know that you guys
What
are.
about
on
me?
New
Well,
York, so-
I won't get any. I won't get paid because I'm not really doing anything.
Well, you get a free ticket and free beer.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude. Whenever you guys are ready to do New York, let's definitely do something. But our friend that was on here last time, Arthur, he books a lot of shows, and I've just been kind of
A lot of shows.
like working with him. Like he's helped us book a lot of shows, and I think he's like super. He just means well, and like I know he's like really grinding for it. So, he lives right now in Brooklyn, and so we're originally all from Yonkers. I live a little bit north of Yonkers. I live in Ossining right now.
Not to be confused with Crank Yonkers, right?
Crank.
Oh, the Crank
I forgot all
Yankers,
about
bro.
that
The
show,
Crank
man.
Yankers, dude. Yes, exactly. Yes. To be confused with the Crank Yankers.
Wait,
Yes.
wait.
Is this a crank? Is this a prank? Are we being pranked right now? Is this a Crank Yankers prank?
I know a weenie man.
Oh wait,
He
sorry, that was the wrong one.
stand.
There,
He
that's the right
sells
one.
most anything.
Sorry, I
from
was playing the
hot
wrong one.
dogs on down.
I mean, are you really playing the wrong one though? I mean,
Yeah,
I think
I was. That was for the wiener segment. I gotta wait till it
love that
stops.
weenie man.
Do you have?
It was this one. That's the one I was trying to do.
You're gonna have to keep that right. I'm gonna have to keep the jokes flowing, then, baby.
Well, now you know what we have to do now, Phil. We have to do the wiener segment because
I know. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
All right, here's the intro to the wiener segment. Okay, this is my dad. This is my dad. I had my parents on. My parents were in Hawaii for like 2 or 3 weeks recently, and on their like one of their last nights there, I had them on the show. I did like a Wednesday short show with them, and you know I didn't really interview them because I mean it's my parents, but my sister was in the chat and we were getting ready to do the wiener segment, and my sister chats. She says, why don't you should have Dad sing the Weenie Man song because he used to sing that to us growing up. So I clipped it out and put it on the soundboard. Here it is.
Oh, this is epic, dude. This
It is
great.
epic.
I know a weenie man. He owns a weenie stand. He sells most anything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll join his life and be his
weenie white.
My mom.
hot dog. I love that weenie man.
Okay, yeah.
That is. I don't know how do you have a better intro to a segment?
That's
That's
awesome.
fucking
I mean
perfect.
that's the best one I can think of.
That is awesome.
Anyway, the wiener segment is all about hot dogs. It's not about what you thought it was about.
That's very misleading, and you did that on purpose, didn't
Yeah.
you?
It is misleading, but I do that on purpose. Oh wait, you just said that. No,
He's picking up what you're putting down.
my buddy Mike, he's living here now. Hopefully he'll be scooting soon. I love you, Mike. He's camera shy, so he's never in here.
Get in on here, Mike. Get in here, Mike.
He's in the living room on the couch. He worked today and
He's like, I'm tired of your rock and roll bullshit. I'm going to fucking.
no. He anyway. He has a weird fetish for wieners,
Oh, okay.
like hot dogs, and
Again, misleading. Yeah.
yeah. Again, but he goes.
Trying to get me canceled over here.
He needs to know where to go to eat a hot dog when he comes to Ohio. Like where's the best hot dog in the world there? And what do you guys like on your hot dogs?
Oh god.
That's
Well,
what this is about.
East
Nothing about
Liverpool
sizes.
hot dog shop.
I don't eat hot dogs, so
East Liverpool.
Yeah, everybody eats hot dogs.
East Liverpool
I
hot dog
don't.
shop.
You have eaten hot dogs though.
no, I haven't.
What?
I mean, I've eaten one. and
Don't
I
be
hated
afraid
it.
of wieners now.
Well, this is now. Don't get me canceled. All right, I'm not trying to get canceled on here. But if you're asking me, I would have told you dogs on the run in East Palestine, Ohio. But nobody wants to come and eat or drink any water in East.
Well, yeah,
Palestine,
not
Ohio, so
now. Yeah, wait about 20 years and then it'll be fine.
Maybe
No.
if it's still there.
But
Anyways, let's
that's
not
the
get
place to
dark.
go.
Let's
What about
move fast.
Youngstown? What about Youngstown?
Oh, dude.
There's a jib jab.
No, there's no best hot dog in Youngstown from what everyone's all I've had to go there because specifically people want to go eat a hot dog.
I've had
there,
to go there.
is the Susie's hot. So what you go in, it's on Federal Street in Youngstown. It's called Susie's, and they got like a bunch of craft beers, and then all the domestics and everything, and then they have a little stage, and they do like. Some nights they do jazz band, some nights they do rock band, some nights they just have stand up like comedy or stand up.
Heard of this.
Dude, and it's
He said
and they
never
have
heard of it.
like apparently they have the
Youngstown.
best hot dogs. So
Yeah?
Susie,
They grill them.
I don't know because I don't eat them, so I don't know. But
Doesn't matter because they're good.
yeah, it's coming from a
Okay,
guy
yeah,
that doesn't
boiled
eat hot
or grilled,
dogs, so
okay.
it could be the worst hot dog you've ever eaten, and I could have just given a really bad recommendation.
Well, I mean, it'd be up to Mike. Mike's the critic here, but we won't know. I won't know until like an hour after the show. Well, probably till tomorrow because he's probably.
Well, when you come to Youngstown, try Susie's out, Federal Street.
we will try Susie's out. You can eat French fries or some other shit, but I will eat the wieners. I'm not afraid of them.
I'll do the French shit while you eat the American bologna sausage wrapped.
So yeah, so you won't. So just curious, like you, would you eat sausage?
I love a good sausage in my mouth.
Like
Nice.
a bratwurst.
sausage.
brat.
I'll eat
Yeah,
a
there we
brat.
go.
I'll eat a brat.
Yeah, it is a brat.
Yeah.
It's not brat. It's
A
brat.
bleh, a bleh.
That's what they eat in Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin.
What'd you say?
Bratwurst and cheese in Wisconsin. I think.
Wisconsin
Wisconsin. They like their cheese.
cheeseheads. Blech.
Cheese. Yeah.
Mikey likes to give out random blechs.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
just be ready for the.
Well,
blech.
he
Yeah,
is.
man.
He
He
is
screams,
the
no?
screamer. Yeah, he's the screamer.
the
He's
shit,
blacker.
dude.
Yeah, he's a
Well,
bleh.
Who in the band are we missing tonight?
Shane Graham, Alex Finch.
So Alex plays bass for us, and Shane Grimm plays the guitar for us. And then we are in. I think honorable mention is for Alex Sadler out of Cleveland. He's been filling in for drums for us, but we are currently without a permanent drummer. So if this reaches out to anyone that is in the
Drummer.
area and would like to try out to be our drummer, then
Oh, you got to
yeah.
try out. I was going to say I'll do it, but if I got to try out, then I'm definitely not going to get accepted.
And you have to do everything with one arm and one leg and try to play all the parts. And if you
and with a
can't-
hot dog in my mouth, right?
well, that or a brat, yeah.
That's up to you.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
No, it's no. Phil knows. I
I
started
was gonna
a.
say, yeah. Are you also in need of a?
Yeah. Also,
Sorry,
we
so
are
Jeff-
also in need of one. We started this project called Natural Cause, and it's me and Mike. He plays lead guitar, and I play acoustic and sing. And my buddy Rob plays bass. But we need a drummer bad, not bad.
Why
but,
are
you
they
know,
so hard to come by?
I know. What the
I don't know.
fuck is
And,
that?
and
What
me and
is
Rob
that?
both play drums, but not like we can't do both. I mean, I could sing and play drums, but I play guitar, so I can't. You know.
I started out playing the drums.
I
That's
don't
where
want to.
I actually toured in a band for a couple of years back when I was 21 and played drums, and then I moved on to playing guitar, and then I sucked at guitar like royally. And then now I'm singing, but not to get off subject. Yeah, I don't know why drummers are so hard to come by, but
They're lazy. That's why.
well, you know what? But it's the
They're
most.
spread so
It's
thin.
ironically, it's the most energetic exercising
Well, yeah.
part to play.
Well, they're
you
like,
know?
Yeah, they're so spread out. They're just so
drummers
like
are like-
exhausted.
Well, it's hard to find a good one too. It's hard to
Yeah.
find a good
They're
one.
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
Drummers are like, you gotta come find us. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're not gonna search for you.
Well, you
And,
know
and-
what's
and
hard
then
about-
they're gonna weigh their options too. You know, like
Yes.
who do I want to play with that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's hard is in our area, it's like, and I can't imagine that it's going to get any better now, but it's just there's no like they're so spread out cities where we're at.
Well, it's flatter than hell. That's why.
What's
know?
that?
It's flat as hell out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's like impossible to like, you know, you're doing Craigslist searching, you're doing Facebook, YouTube, you're trying to reach out, and then you get down this rabbit hole where you're like, this guy's the perfect guy, and then you hit him up, and he's like, yeah, I live in California, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, that's not gonna work, you know.
Hey, let's take. I don't want to run out of time because you know well, I mean, we're still pretty good, but I want to play Feathers and Bones.
Play it, baby.
Yeah.
What is this one about? Is it about, you know, bones and feathers or chickens? Or what is this about?
Do you want me to? All
Is
right.
this about chicken wings? It is, isn't it?
It's about chicken wings. That's exactly it,
Yeah.
man.
Not hot dogs.
Not hot dogs, not brats. Feathers and Bones is a song about having to and like I said, all these songs on this album kind of have a lot of the same meaning and background, but for why they're written. I mean, there's obviously different songs that mean different things, but these two singles specifically, Feathers, means a lot of just of having nights and weekends of just kind of spiraling into a lot of drinking and
A lot of
and
self-destruction.
a lot of that's actually a really good way to put it. A lot of self-destruction and being like and saying to yourself, like, you know, should I, you know, I'm in this spot right now where my heart's broken and so do I just go ride the flow and just do what I want and drink what I want and party how I want,
Feed the addiction.
or do I try to stop and say to myself, hey, let me clean my life up a little bit and maybe that'll change why things aren't working in my life, or do I say, no, fuck that, I'm going to do that? So it's kind of like the devil and the angel on your shoulder, just kind of fighting with each other, you know, is what this song is.
That's all. That's all. I love this. I say this a lot, but like, you know, you don't know until you ask, I guess. But you know, I always like to know what songs are actually fully about. You know, like why did you guys write it? You know, because lyrics mean different things for different people. You know,
and that's
different
not
ways.
to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
You're good. No, you're fine. You're good.
But I think that that's exactly what. Whenever like someone asks me what a song is about or what a lot of it, because again, you know, a lot of this stuff comes a majority, if not 90% of everything that's wrote kind of comes from Shane. And I feel like a lot of this stuff, and he's not here to back this up, and I think that's better to even say it now because he can't interject. But a lot of the stuff, like I could tell, like if it's not lyrics that I brought to the table, that he is like writing specifically songs about what he's seeing that I'm going through in a way. And I know that he may or may not agree with that, but with that being said, I think that it's important to note that songs are so interpretable. Like you can interpret them however. I think that it's important that you should interpret a song the way that you feel that you want it, because at the end of the day, when you're listening to it, it's how you want you to make you feel, how you're going to connect with it. So if I say that this song means this, well, I don't want that to just all of a sudden change the perspective of what someone else thinks when they're listening to it. Because it's important that music makes people feel the way that they want to feel.
An original thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, and you guys can both appreciate that, and because you guys are songwriters. So, I
copy mine out of like encyclopedias and things.
Yeah, dude, we just ripped like a bunch of like Incubus riffs and like Deftones, and then just like kind of just like mash them up.
I love that. I have to check out your band so badly now that you said that.
They're phenomenal. Maintenance is the shit. They're definitely good.
Those are my two favorite all time bands.
Yeah,
those two singers are the reason why I started singing. Gino Marino and Braden Boyd are the reason why I started singing. Yeah. Like I'm checking out Maintenance. Like,
all right, fuck yeah, good. I think I like it. It's like
you have to at this point. You must.
If I don't, I'm a liar, and I'm caught on live. So
you're a liar.
Oh my.
Feathers and Bones, if you will.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. Check it out.
Maybe I should change my clothes. Maybe I should just stay home. Maybe just one more dose. Maybe I should show a little self-control. Maybe I should take my time. Maybe just one more line. I got a lot being on my mind, and I wanna show it to you. And I wanna show it to you.
Go like this if you can hear me.
Maybe I can wait.
If you need any more,
Second time this week.
I've been waking up on the floor.
It's okay, I've been here before. In the back of my mind, if I take her home, I know there's nothing left, there's nothing left. Both feathers and bones. If somehow I can make it back to my place tonight. The room that I'm home. I'm reckless to mention that I am so presentable. It's a pill that I can't swallow. In the back of my mind, I know. Maybe it's a chance to grow. Maybe it's a chance to you. Maybe I can bleed.
If you need any more,
Second time this week.
I've been waking up on the floor.
It's okay, I've been here before. In the back of my mind, if I take her home, I know there's nothing left, there's nothing left but feathers and bones. But feathers and bones. Say that you flesh your needs.
I'm lost in a world that's
From my life, I leave my feelings right beside you. Maybe I should take her home. Maybe I should just say no. a chance to grow. Maybe it's a whole new love. Maybe I can bleed.
If you need any more,
Sick and tired this work.
I've been waking up on the floor.
It's okay, I've been here before. In the back of my mind, if I take her home, I know there's nothing left, there's nothing left but feathers and bones. But feathers and bones. But feathers and bones.
That's freaking terrific.
Thanks, man.
It's just
yeah.
the energy in that is just crazy.
Who plays
Well-
lead guitar? The dude Shane that you were saying before.
So originally we had another guitar player in our band when we wrote this album, so we had 2 guitar parts going. Now we're gonna have to lean more towards tracking one and having him decide on what parts that he's gonna play, which is a struggle, but it's just okay because nothing, we love Tyler. Tyler is our the last member that just left our band. He's our friend and he'll always
Okay.
be our friend, so that's
For
not an
sure.
issue.
Much
But-
love, Tyler.
Yeah, but now we're just kind of in the situation where we have to figure out, well, what are we gonna do with these parts? Because the first 2 EPs we put out is a lot of 2 guitar part stuff going on, so no big deal. I think it works out because it just at the end of the day now we can worry. Now we can. It's once we figure out how to get all this to work live, which we are doing now for this run.
Yeah.
It will work out because it's just it's less stage room taken and things like that. Not to say that in a mean way. I don't think he would take that in a mean way either. But yeah.
If you guys are tight, I think that'll be just, you know what I mean? That'll come across regardless. You know what I mean? Like if you guys are tight, short a member, then it's just like this band is tight regardless.
Yeah,
know?
and it forces you to have to be tight.
Yeah. Because now you're seeking a way to find it, like to bring it home, like a little
Yeah.
bit more now. You gotta, that's cool. That's a good way to look at it.
Spoken like a true guy that's going through it himself.
Been there, done that. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Retribution EP is badass too. I recently listened to that. I think
Thank you.
yesterday I listened to it all the way through, and yeah,
You can see, and I like I as much as I hate listening to myself because I hate listening to myself, but you can see, I think, or I believe, my opinion is that the difference between the first 2 EPs and then what you guys are going to hear with this full length is going to be so much more. It's such a huge step in the right direction as far as like we've just evolved, and I love looking back and going, wow, man, like just the short years we've spent together, we're evolving so
Yeah.
quickly,
you just kind of find your
like-
sound, I guess. After spending some time
Yeah,
together
yeah.
and playing
Yeah,
and
get to
writing.
know each other. Yeah. Cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. When is the full length due? What do you have a time frame of
It's
that?
out for distribution and it'll be out March 24th.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and then there's gonna be a huge party in Youngstown with Maintenance and me.
Dude, honestly, I'm gonna talk to
Talk to Arthur, but then you'll
I
have to
know,
bring him
and-
along. You'll have
yeah,
to bring him
just-
along. Arthur plays in the other band that was on the 2-band banger with them, for lack of a term.
and his
Is
band
that
plays
a
a lot too. I mean, like
is-
Maintenance is a little bit messy.
Didn't they play around there?
Yeah,
on-
dude, they played Chicago, they played Ohio. I don't know exactly where in Ohio, but they did play Ohio. They said the furthest they went out was Chicago, though.
They've been
Come
everywhere.
play
They've
a
been
show
all
with
over.
us, man.
What is it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You should. You should.
Especially
And-
a weekend. Let's make this fucking happen. Like, I can.
If you can't, it's totally understandable, and we'll just figure out another. We'll make it work where we'll play another show together.
Exactly.
they
At
can.
Mutual, whenever you guys are ready to come down this way, we can make something.
Okay, now I don't want to be left out of this friendship situation.
Yeah,
right here.
dude.
I want to be.
dude,
I,
No, we don't want to leave
I
you
just-
out either, man.
No, I just want to be along for the thing. I will film it. I will film the gathering.
Oh hell yeah!
Hmm?
Just edit out
We
all the
gotta
bad
get you
parts.
playing too, man.
What is it? Well, no,
said
we're
edit-
not. We're not ready to play yet. We don't have a drummer.
Oh.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We gotta make that. We gotta start.
Yeah, we gotta. I gotta go to Yonkers, do like a hiatus in Yonkers for like a month. Look for a
An
drummer.
artist retreat. Yeah.
An artist retreat.
Artist
that
retreat
what-
in the city of
is that what-
Yonkers.
Yankers.
Yeah.
Yankers. Julia Monica, or Monica Julia. Is that right?
Yeah, Monica. That's
Put
our
an
LA
emoji.
girl.
She just put it a one of those like a smirk emoji.
Yeah, well,
Said.
Some people-
Monica's
some
been
people
out
smirk.
street teaming for us in LA, and she's been pumping up numbers, and she's so helpful to us, and we're so
Pump me up some numbers. I need subscribers.
appreciate it.
There's two here. There's Nick and Mike. Mike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael.
I call him
Mike.
Michael. I say Michael.
Now I don't think individually maintenance or for lack of a term has subscribed, because if so, then I should
On YouTube, yeah, dude. We definitely are.
individually. I
Oh,
never.
like as a person, probably. Oh, dude, yeah. I don't
Oh,
really.
yeah.
like Google
I need
much.
individuals. I need individuals.
Facts.
We'll make sure that everyone in our band subscribes, plus the
And all your friends, your parents, your moms. Call your mom. Call your dad.
You want me to
My
call her
work
now
email.
and put her on the podcast and say, "Mom"?
I mean, if that's what it takes, I mean,
I don't
Let's
want her
make a
to.
couple of fucking Phil Gigante 1, Phil Gigante 2, Phil Gigante 3 at Gmail.
Hey, numbers are numbers. You know what I mean?
And just subscribe across every day. Just like
I can start making money at 1,000. At 1,000, I'm at 315.
Well, let's get you
I
to
did get it.
1,000, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know that many people, but you do. I know Phil knows 1,000 people.
So
Look
if
at-
you're
look at him.
listening, if you're from the Iravera camp and you're listening, please go and subscribe to this man's channel. He's putting us on and he's helping us out and he's spreading the word. So I think
I'm helping everybody out. I will help
that
everybody.
we can do
I
to,
mean,
to
you're already
subscribe
on
to
the
his channel.
YouTube page, so.
I will send you 315 cases of water, because that's how many subscribers I have right now.
Oh my God.
Dude, you're about to be
Well-
Austin 316. You're like one away. Dude,
Yeah,
you should
I need-
give
I
away
need
something
one
for
more-
that.
one more
The
and I
next
can make this
subscriber
a-
should get a fucking 6 pack of beer sent.
With each case of water.
You
Yeah,
know,
there you go.
I-
Yeah.
you know what I'm gonna sue for is I'm gonna make a lawsuit and I'm gonna say I can't drink the water, so I damaged my liver by drinking so much beer.
That would, and you would probably win.
Well, now that I've said it, I don't know that I'm gonna stop speaking
I'll-
on it
I'll
now.
cut
'Cause
that
now,
part out.
now I'm thinking it might be a legitimate lawsuit. So I'm. Gonna
I don't-
stop
I don't
speaking
edit
on it.
Dude, the
don't edit
test
any of these,
the
but I
evidence
might-
will show, though, man. Let's get you. You know what I mean? Let's start pounding them down, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start
You're-
training now. Let's do this.
Hey,
Like,
Hey,
you
you
look
guys want to
behind.
see feathers and bones in real life?
you look behind. You look a little thin. You need to drink a little bit more.
Yeah, no,
I
more.
don't
more
encourage
beer,
that.
right? That'll.
I
fatten
can't
me up.
encourage anything on the show because then it gets censored and all that whiny crap.
You
No,
can't censor me, bro.
you can't censor me. either. Facebook tried to, and guess what I did? I just went to YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? It's a sad world where everything becomes fact checked and
Yeah, the Cleveland Indians can't even be the Cleveland Indians. The Washington Redskins can't be the Washington
yeah, it's
Redskins.
crazy,
They
right?
can be, and they've been that way for years, and all of a sudden.
let's face the facts with this, and the reality is that everyone has a sense of humor, and if you don't, it's because you're trying. In my opinion, it's because you're trying to get some sort of credit for something, or you
You
want
need
to
money.
be known.
You need money.
You need money. You know, like I think that there's definitely. I'll say this too. I think there's definitely injustices and there's definitely things that are insensitive to say. So I'm not going to sit here and say that that's not the case.
Say
but I
all
think-
of them. All of them. The ones you're thinking. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, top
I'll
five, go.
Hold on, pull my list of things that I brought here today.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I do think that it's like, man, where do we fucking become so goddamn sensitive about things?
We haven't. That's the thing. We haven't. It's certain people that have.
And I think it's like, you know what I've noticed is that with this whole with this situation that's going on here is like people are jumping in line to get on camera to say things.
And okay, since you said that, the biggest thing that I saw coming out of there was the reporter that got thrown out and thrown on the ground and for being disruptive or whatever. I watch a lot of
I know what you're talking about.
1A audits on YouTube. That's a big thing that I watch. The good
Mhm.
ones. I don't watch. There's some crappy ones, but so that one was all over YouTube. Well, all over everywhere. It was not even on like the main news too.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what transpired before that or what he was doing. He might not have been doing it. I wasn't there. I don't know. Nobody knows. But and some people are trying to bring race into it. I don't. Nobody was there, so how do we know exactly what it was? But that was one of the biggest things that we heard coming out of there was that
Did you hear about that at all?
that guy.
See about that?
I don't even know who that guy is. I mean, I knew he was a
just
reporter.
He was a reporter that came in and my
Was he heckling?
what's that?
It was a press conference, right? Was he heckling or something?
So I don't we that wasn't open to the public. You weren't allowed to be in there. But my what I think is probably the case of what happened is there's probably two things that either happened. One, he was probably heckling, and he's probably not that he was
Or speaking out of turn, or
just to
something.
clarify.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he was.
Right.
So it was that was either happening, and he was probably creating a ruckus, or there was something that we don't know, and
Yeah.
maybe there was something done to him that shouldn't have been done to him. So
Yeah, we just don't know.
but we don't really know, and I live blocks away from the place, and I don't know. So if there was something that was done to him that shouldn't have been done to him, then in all the more power to him to try to hope that he gets justice for that. But also, if there wasn't something done to him, then from what I seen on there, it kind of seemed like they were a little bit forceful with him too.
They're
So
a little
I don't-
aggressive. Yeah.
They were a little aggressive, man. It seemed like they were a little
out of
aggressive.
jurisdiction aggressive. You know.
You know,
what I mean?
but what the thing with the media is that you can film things and portray them to, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say anything further about
Yeah,
it.
it's difficult, because you don't want to say any. I know what you mean. You don't want to say anything out of line with anything. I mean,
Right.
anything you say is out of line if somebody thinks it's out of line. If one person thinks it's out of line, listen to what this guy, So that's why I try to stray away. But it's good to talk. It's healthy to talk about. It's healthy to have
The line,
conversations.
right? Like it's good to talk about what the line is because
Yeah,
I think
it is.
it does. It kind of comes down to I feel like
It's healthy.
once we had this kind of outreach with like the internet, especially where I live in New York, I feel like it's a very like liberal, like like all my
God.
friends are liberal, like and I'm kind of like I'm just like in between. I don't really care much about it, but like I see it just because like, and I'm not trying to get like political or anything, but like I just think that it's very like you become aware of something like if something seems kind of borderline kind of like controversial, it like it triggers this kind of like like somebody will get offended by this because
Tread the line.
now
You
on
start
this
treading
fucking
what your words
worldwide
are.
web thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of scary. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
out of context, like
You think you know your friends until you start talking about, things.
Yeah.
Like that, public things.
Yeah, and you guys, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just like friends, especially if they are your friends, you start saying things, and it's like you're allowed to have an opinion on the matter.
Yeah,
Just because you have an
but
opinion
everybody's
on the
good
matter.
afterwards. If everybody's good afterwards, then it doesn't matter.
Sure, it doesn't have to get to a point where it becomes like
Like the vaccine. I don't want to get into it, no, but that was a big thing for I think for a lot of people.
Sure.
It was the discussion of should I get it, should I not get it, why didn't you get it, why did you get it? It was just a whole thing, back and forth constantly.
I think what the thing with that is too, and it applies to a lot that's going on here too, is it's not about whether or not you should or shouldn't get it. It's about whether someone has the right to say whether or not they do or
Decide,
don't
yeah.
want to get it.
And not have to risk losing their job or
Yeah.
their social status. Yeah, I've always, my dad's actually, because me and him will talk about things, but he said you need to do a podcast about this stuff. I'm like, I don't. I mean, because at that point it's my opinion, and it's whoever my guest would be, it's their opinion. And yeah, we could go back and forth, or we could be on the same page. And he's like, then you could have like call-in guests. I was like, well, I can't put my number down there because then
Yeah, you don't want to be getting phone calls about shit like
that turns into a whole other headache of a podcast.
Yeah.
Not that this one is, but sometimes it is because there's I've had to learn so much crap on this. When I first started this show back on Facebook Live in 2020, June of 2020. I would hold the phone up to a microphone, and there'd be a PA in the room, and that's how you would hear the guest. You wouldn't see the guest at all. You would see me. You'd see the side of my
I've
head.
done that though.
Yeah, well, you have to start somewhere. I think that that's the
Yeah.
same thing that I'm like where I'm at now, especially with setting up my own DAW and writing my own stuff, and even doing my. I'm gonna be starting my own podcast as well. But
Yes.
um, uh, why not hop on the trend, right? But
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just
but
good
y-
for you.
you
Yeah,
have
it's
to
just good for
start. You
Yeah.
have to start just the same way with music, the same way with any art, anything. You just go and let yourself be okay with being scared and being afraid that you're not doing it right, because that's the only way that you grow. The same way, like, I want to mention how Mikey is like, I so badly want to be, I want to scream like Mikey can, and I
You want to be like
cannot.
Mike. You want to be like Mike.
I want to be like
like
Mike.
Mike.
I want to be like Michael Jordan and Mikey Wrights and the #1 goats, right? So,
That'd be a good shirt
so
or sticker.
I want to do it so badly, but it's like I'm like, man, where do I don't even know how to like start, and I could ask him for things, but I think that there does come, and with that being said, I think there does come some sort of talent that has to kind of be involved in that too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there are certain things that you could do with podcasting and stuff where you can, if you have a certain talent for being able to speak. But I guess I don't want to get too far off subject, but I guess what I'm saying here is that it's just, if you want to do something and you believe that you can do it, and you love it, if you have a passion for something like that, then don't discount yourself. At least try to do it and throw yourself into the fire, because
Yeah.
everything
do
is like everyone in today's world believes that they have to come out and be like right off the rip the best.
The
And
next
if
TikTok
you look
fan.
at all your
Or,
goats, if you look at all your favorite people, like if we're talking podcasting, like you look at someone like Joe Rogan, or you look at someone like Andrew Santino, or just these people that have these ridiculously successful
they got
podcasts.
lucky. I mean, not Joe Rogan really, but some of these podcasts just got lucky by their content, and by the way they went about doing it.
Well, did they get lucky, or did they put years and years and years and years of time
Yeah,
into
it was like
to
a
the point where they
like a
discovered it?
refined version of it that
Yeah.
finally kind
How
of.
many shitty podcasts have they put out? How many bands have put out shitty fucking EP? Like our
Yeah.
our first EP, I'm supposed to be promoting our EP as like the best thing ever, but in reality, like
It is. It
there's
should
just
be.
so many flaws in it. Like where I look back
Well,
and go
yeah,
like,
that you hear,
man.
and like I was asking Phil over text earlier. I was like, can I send you this, because we'll put our single on March 17th, our very first one. I was like, can I send you this and see if you guys hear anything that I'm not hearing, like before we release it? And he's like, for sure, because I think that's important. You have to have other ears hear it, because your ears hear what you've done with it, like the way you played, the way you sang, the way you want in your mind things to sound like. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it might sound, it probably sounds okay to Mike, on a certain part where I think it sounds like shit, but that's why I think it's important to just, throw it, give it to the maintenance guys, give it to whoever your friends that have, even if they have shitty ears. Like he's like, well, I have good ears, but I can't really explain it. All right.
I can't explain like technical things. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know how like to how the people like, oh, your low frequencies are this and that. I'm like, no, like
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, just
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I can tell you like
It can
what
sound
I'll be
off,
like, there's something about this. I try to be as specific as possible. I'll be like, I don't like this.
He froze. He's frozen.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll finish his sentence in a minute.
Well,
But it's
well,
super
to-
important to have. I
There
think
he
that
is.
people,
You froze
Did
for
it
like
cut out?
5 seconds.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
dude. Yeah, the weather's a little shitty right now. It's like fucking. Cold.
Yeah, we had that earlier.
if I could touch on, well, I think what you both have said is like, at the end of the day, I think that one, like what you were saying, is like, Scott, I mean, you specifically, Scott, like with you, what you were saying, is like, I think there's an importance in collaborative efforts within a band, because that makes it so that it's like, you're not just biased in your own opinion, whether you
Right,
like
yeah,
something or
it's
not.
my band. Yeah. I don't
And
mind.
then what with Phil and what Phil is saying is like there's two parts to this. So like I think you don't want too many yes men around you as well,
Right.
Yeah.
because then it's like oh dude, no, you're awesome, It's like that's great, but then it's also like you do want to be refined. You do want to know that you're
Hey, you want to
good.
hear
And
what's
you
off,
somebody to tell
what's
you
not.
the honest truth.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then
What
you
does-
also, need a collaborative effort within yourself, within your own group, to be like, hey, no, this is cool, but you kind of sucked, or
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
sucks. So
You
let's
gotta,
switch
and
this.
you gotta be able to like fragile, like that's what they. I feel like you gotta fragilely like walk that line of being able to tell people stuff. You know,
And aren't we so sensitive as musicians?
yeah,
Like,
because some people could take it really
Critical.
well. Some people could take it really well. I feel like I wasn't able to take it well at first until I started working with musicians that were like, you know, I think I realized they weren't coming off and being like that. Like when you start to realize that it's like the part that when you separate yourself from the part and you're adjusting the part, like if we've already gone together and we're working on a song together, I feel like we've mutually understood that we're gonna, you know, we respect each other's writing. So whatever the best part that comes out of it is
Right.
what, you know,
and you touched on like what you, because you had said like, well, certain low frequencies and things like that. That's why Mikey and I love working with Shane so much, because
he can do
he
that.
he is that person, but then he's also that person, like, you know, if you were to show him a song, you're like, hey, what about this song? You know, that most people would be like, oh no, that's a good song. It sounds great and everything. He's the guy that's like, well, I like it. It's a good structured song, but like the frequency in the chorus, like it could be like with this and that. And it's like, and then you start to think to yourself, you're like, well, I mean, like, I wasn't like thinking of it like that depth, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't, you know,
that deep,
but
bro.
but those are the things, those are the things that
Important.
you want from the savant in your band, that goes like, that says like, hey, you know, like, and that's what makes it though. That's
Yep.
the kind of things that, are you all right? Did you just pull something out? You okay? Okay. I think
What happened?
Mikey banged
Is
his
there a hot
foot or
dog in the
something.
room?
I think Mikey broke his foot.
Oh no! Just now? How?
No,
wait.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Yeah, so nonchalantly.
yeah.
Yeah. He's
Ow!
just like, no, I'm good, man. My foot's broken.
He's like,
but we
I
can
gotta
just,
go to the
Oh,
podcast.
must go on.
Hey, I don't want to go over the show. I can't wait to meet you guys in person. It'll be soon because your stuff's coming up very soon, and I will see you at the West Side Bowl when you play.
I can't wait. Dude,
I will put it on my calendar. I will put well, I can't right now because my phone's on the thing, but yes, send it to my Instagram. Send me all the info for your West Side Bowl show, and I will be there. I promise.
And I'll get your number on there, and I'd like to get Phil too,
Yeah,
and we
definitely.
can all, you know, maybe we'll all get in a group text and send a bunch of and
all stay at the DoubleTree
to each
in a
other.
suite.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, are you fronting the bill on that? Let's do it.
No, keep me alive. Keep me alive is friend.
He's writing it off.
Yeah.
Easy. Oh,
Hey, well, if
I got a new. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a new thing tonight. I'm sure everybody noticed it. I was a little late turning it on live, but it was on Amazon for $20, so I got it, and it looks good.
it's awesome.
I can turn up the brightness too. See, look, oh, I can be purple.
That's fancy.
I like it changing. It's like
Yeah, me too.
It
Looks
doesn't do
kinda
that.
like-
It's on or off or up or down.
yeah.
Well, the brighter the better. It's like we said, our angel, you know.
Yeah. Mikey is in the aura tonight.
So real quick, Scott, I just want to say, because I know you need to end, and I know we've been going
I
probably.
don't need to end, but just
Well, I just want to say, man, like, and Mikey can say his piece on how much he loves you too, but
What?
it's awesome that you reached out, and we're so grateful to be on. We're so grateful to meet Phil. This connection has been awesome. And we'll do our best to pump up your channel, and thank you so much for having us on. And I'm glad I got to meet Phil, and I'm glad I got to meet you, and this has been a really awesome conversation. It's been great,
Sure.
man. Thanks for taking our mind off of what tragic and annoying shit is going
but
on.
at the same time, making you talk about it at the very beginning.
Yeah, right. Be
Well,
like-
I'm glad we got it's get the bad news out first, right?
Yeah.
It's a shit. What's the compliment
Shit
sandwich?
scenario.
You know, you talk about the shitty shit first, then you do a bunch of nice shit, and then you talk about the shitty shit last, and it's a compliment sandwich in a way.
And everybody hugs.
And everyone
brown
hugs.
water. Just run the brown water first, then you get clean water, and like it just,
That's yeah.
you know.
We'll send it over to you guys as a testament to us over here. We'll bottle some water up, and then you guys can save it.
No, we're good. We're good. You guys just hold on to that.
Oh, okay. All right. You sure?
Oh,
sure?
well, I'm gonna be up there in like a few weeks, so I'll just test it.
Well,
When I get-
you'll be safe to be up there. It's not. I think you'll be okay. It's north of where we're at, so you'll be all right.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. It was a little short notice, but like I said, I felt like it needed to happen. You know, to
I'm
get
glad
you
it happened.
get you guys away from that for an hour or so. You know, just
Thank you.
just off of that subject. Your music's awesome. Keep it up for sure. Even after the album releases, keep writing stuff because I mean it's phenomenal stuff. I love it. It's your stuff. It doesn't. I'm sitting here. I always sit here and think about well, who does this sound like? This sounds like somebody. But then a part comes up that throws that completely off. And I'm not a good person to say, well, this sounds like Seven Dust or this sounds like this. No, it does. It sounds like you guys.
Thank you.
I think I've told Maintenance the same thing. It sounds like you guys. So keep doing that. Don't change it. Don't if a record producer says, "Hey, change this because we got to put this shit on the radio," that's what happened to Stained.
Well, you know what? I'll
got
say this,
shittier
man.
and
You can compare us to all of those epic bands, and I'll love it every day, and it won't bother me at all. So
But still,
that's fine.
I would
Maintenance
rather
is
not
gonna
do
be
that.
first on my
Because,
playlist, man.
I would rather not do it because it's you guys. I would rather hear you guys and be like, "Oh, I know that band. I've had them on."
You know what's funny? The other day, I've been,
Oh wait. Oh, you're not done yet.
no, I've been doing this
You
thing
didn't tell the
where
joke
so we've been told that I never really listened to much Thrice, and our
Thrice is awesome.
I know, dude, and our singer guitar player never really listened to much Thrice, and everybody's like, when we first started playing shows, they'd be like, "Yo, you guys sound like Thrice. You guys sound like Thrice." So I'm like a couple times like where I'll be like in the car or in the studio with the band, I'll be like, "Yo, like listen to this project like Casa and I are working on," and like I'll play a Thrice song. And they'll be like, "Yo," like they're like, "What the fuck?" Like I'll be like, "No, it's not Maintenance though. It's not Maintenance though." And they'll be like,
Phil,
"Why?"
you'll appreciate this real quickly without me going into detail. I went to see Deftones in Miami one year, and Thrice opened up, and it must have been one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
In
It was
Miami
awesome.
too.
Yeah. Thrice and Thrice and Deftones, and I know you love Deftones, so that I figured you'd appreciate that. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, dude. I listened to a lot of Limp Bizkit growing up, and I'd skip the Deftones. And I'm like, yeah, I would have been a different person if I listened to the Deftones a little bit earlier in my life. But now I'm like, dude, I just can't. I'm like,
How old are you, Phil?
I'm 27. I had to think about it for 2 seconds.
Young.
Yeah. So okay. So just a little bit younger than I, but about the same. But that was about just our time period. My brother got me into all the new metal and everything, and I can't shake it, and no matter how hard I try. I mean,
I love it. I love it. It's just such
it's
a vibe.
great.
It's a vibe.
It's such a what a changing genre. What a moving genre that changed everything.
It's coming back. It's coming as a podcaster. I've talked
a
to
great
few bands.
podcaster at that.
Okay. Whatever. No, I've talked to a few bands, and I've had a few bands on that are doing that, and it's even better than when it first came out. Like they're doing the modern stuff with it, like the modern metalcore stuff with it, and they're tossing that shit in there, and it's badass. I don't want to name
it
names.
is.
Fox Lake. I just saw them. I just met them in person.
Hey, you said that before. I gotta check them out.
Yeah, I mean they're doing that kind of stuff, but it's so good because it keeps you with the metalcore, but then all of a sudden somebody's like, I can't do it.
Dropout Kings, same thing. Shout out to our boys in Dropout Kings, same thing, man.
Shout out. And Counting Gravestones. Counting Gravestones. Yes,
Get them guys on. They're good kids.
I will do
They're
that.
good kids, man.
Jim Figley says loved it. Sparrow Graphics. I spelled it wrong.
That's my father. Yeah,
That's
he's
true.
tuning
I'm
in.
sorry, Jim. I spelled it wrong.
Hey.
I spelled it sparrow like the bird, and then graphics without the X. I spelled it like English people spell it. Like,
Well, you just spelled it like a normal person with grammatical.
I didn't want to get it wrong, so that's what I. So
No,
I will look it up. I will look because I need a new.
We'll get you some stickers, bro.
Can you do one of these things? Can you guys Sparrow
We can
Graphics?
do whatever you want, man.
This is one of
We can do
those
whatever you
things.
want.
This is one of those things that you can peel off the wall and move somewhere else and then stick it
Yeah,
back.
we could do it. We
Okay.
could do it.
They can do it, Phil. Hey, Phil.
I believe in them.
I believe in them.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jim.
Scott.
Thanks, Jim. And thanks, Nick. And thanks, Mike. And thanks, Phil, for being on tonight. It was a lot of fun. Let us know. Seriously, let us know what we can do for you guys. To live. What do you guys need? Feel free to ask us. We will do our best to do that. I will pass along to Phil and the other people that I talk to.
We'll see you next month.
Yes. Send me that
That's what
stuff.
we could do, right? Yeah.
Send me that stuff in Instagram. The dates and all that stuff, and I'll get that set up. I'll get the DoubleTree set up with the suite with the hot tub and all that shit. I'll do that.
Sweet, man.
I don't have that kind of credit. Hey, playing a shout out of the show tonight is a guy that I didn't even know that could sing. He plays badass bass in a bunch of bands over in Parkersburg, which is kind of the border of Ohio. So Parkersburg and Marietta, Ohio, that area. His name is John Poole. You can find him on Instagram. I can send you his link. But he plays in this project called Beneath, and they've only have two songs out. They have one out called Waves, but I'm going to play Treasure tonight because I think it kind of fits, especially after what we talked about. It just kind of fits.
Awesome.
But this is John's band Beneath. The song's called Treasure. Hey, if you guys have like 5 minutes, just stick around right there, and when I kill the live stream, we'll just talk.
Can I pee real quick?
No.
All right, I'll pee my
you're
pants.
good. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
On
Same
stream,
Phil,
dude.
Phil knows how it goes.
Yeah.
Here is Beneath with Treasure, and I will be back. I got to change the marquee. I have so much to do. I have the sign. I have the marquee. I got to change the marquee over to show 178. Is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with Eden on Fire. They're from Erie, PA, kind of near you guys. That'll be
I
tomorrow
just
night.
played with the band from Erie. Oh, well, Erie, New York. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Played with them.
Yeah, they're from. Their name is Erie.
That's
We played
not
in
very
Connecticut.
creative. That's not very creative.
Well, it's like E.I. Like I think it's abbreviated for something, and they happen to be from Erie.
Huh.
It's ambiguous, dude.
All right. Well, here's good segue, Phil. Here's Beneath with Treasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night, same time, 8 o'clock. Have a good night.
Peace.